Long before Patrick Mahomes, and ages before there was an Action Jackson, there was this thrower, Willie Thrower, the first black quarterback in the modern NFL.
And I would say if there was ever a movie being made, I would probably name it The Unknown Thrower.
We know Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player in the majors. We know Warren Moon, the first black quarterback in the NFL Hall of Fame. Why don't we remember Willie Thrower?
Now, we all know Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. My dad always felt that he was the Jackie Robinson of football. He just felt like he was just unknown then.
For Willie Thrower, there are no football spiking, touchdown celebrating highlights. There's no trophy photo with a humble brag. No Hall of Fame speech. Even telling his story is tough. There aren't a whole lot of visuals to show. So here's a video of Jackie Robinson. And bear with us as we tell the story of the football version of this baseball legend. Because Willie Thrower is a pioneer, and he shouldn't be forgotten because football wasn't ready for a black man to lead. In his sophomore year of high school, Willie's coach moved him from halfback to quarterback, an unthinkable promotion for a black man back in 1946. And then the team won 24 games in a row and 2 state championships. Word of the victories led to football scholarships from schools in the South. But as soon as they found out that Willie was black, they took back their offers.
You got to understand, during that time was Jim Crow law. So blacks couldn't play against whites and whites couldn't play against blacks. So at that time, my dad ended up going north and went to Michigan State.
He got to Michigan State and became the first black quarterback in the Big Ten and would spend most of his time on the bench. But in 1952, his talent met opportunity, helping the school win its first national championship. One sports writer wrote that he was one of the strongest and most accurate passers ever developed in the Midwest. Even his starting quarterback sang his praises, calling Willie the thrower who threw the ball as good as anyone in football. The NFL didn't seem to agree. All 12 teams passed on him. 361 players were drafted. Willie was not one of them. But the NFL's Chicago Bears later signed him to a 1-year contract.
The quarterback is not only the leader of the team, he is supposed to be the smartest person out there. He has to know his whole entire offense. He has to know what the defense is doing. He has to be the most courageous person. And he's also the superstar. It is the glamorous position. Add all that up to imagine that a black person can play that, the most important position in all of professional sports. You could see why in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, when we still lived in Jim Crow America, why professional football wasn't ready for a black man to lead.
Willie found himself back warming the bench, and again, the quarterback in front of him was saying incredible things about his talent. In a rare interview the year before he passed, here's Willie remembering what starting quarterback George Blanda told him once before a game.
He told me, he said, "You know what, Will?" He says, "If I could throw a football like you," he said, "I'd be in football for the next 20, 25 years.
Blanda went on to become a Hall of Famer. Willie Thrower played 2 games. But that first game was one to remember. Blanda was struggling, and the team sent in the thrower. Willie led the team up the field, but when it was time to score the touchdown, the coach took him out and put Blanda back in.
We went in, he took him in for a touchdown, and that tied the score up, and they came back and made another touchdown, beat us 35-28.
Sounds to me, Mr. Thrower, like you did most of the work and Blanda got the glory on that particular situation.
On that particular day.
He only threw 8 passes, but he became the first black quarterback to play in the modern NFL.
You can break records, you can break passing yards, you can break passing touchdowns, but you cannot break history. History was made October 18, 1953, and that's something that can't be done again. So that's why it's so important to recognize who he was and what he did.
The high of his story is also the end of his story. He was cut after the season and never played in the NFL again. But should that matter? Should we only remember the people who made it, who beat the odds that were stacked heavily against them? Or should we remember the ones who tried and failed, but helped clear the runways for the people behind them?
I honestly believe if he was 15 years later, you would definitely know who he was.
I fully believe that if Willie Thrower was given the time that most quarterbacks who didn't look like him, right, most white quarterbacks would get, that Willie Thrower could be a household name. He had a big arm in a league that liked to throw the ball deep. He just didn't have time. He is a pioneer. And in America, we like to celebrate pioneers. It just so happens the terrain that he had to go through was racism in professional sports.
Another black quarterback wouldn't get another chance for the next 15 years. And even then, racist questions about their smarts and fight would dog them their whole careers.
There are a lot of guys and a lot of women, black men and black women, who didn't get opportunities, not on the football field, but also in life. And that's, I think, what the black quarterback represented to so many people, the opportunities that they didn't get.
Fast forward to 2023, a record of 14 black quarterbacks took a snap during the first game of the season. And for the second Super Bowl in a row, there will be a black quarterback at kickoff. Thanks, Willie.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.